I grew up with a family that was super curious. I mean, we had to play school every night at the dinner table. My dad would ask everybody these questions. He he would tailor them to your age group. So, and he'd make them a little hard, so you'd have to miss a few of them, but nothing too hard where you would get discouraged, right? And then if you missed one, you were a third of a hippopotamus, and if you missed two, you're two-thirds.
Oh my goodness.
Eventually, you don't want to be a hippopotamus.
Educator.
What's that?
He was an educator.
Oh, well, he did get his degree in English education, and that's what he went, his whole family all went to Yale, and they've all got this great education background too, right? But since he was born blind, he didn't end up going to the same amount of education as the rest of the family, but he really embraced this sense that we take your kids and teach them these things, and that comes in later. Now, do you want to learn these things if you go into these jobs and if you're in a media position? Are you interested in other people, or are you just in it for the money? Are you just in it for the short-term gains, or what's your motivation? And I think if you see the really successful people, they really care about what other people have to say, and they're learning from them, and they're not in it for the wrong reasons. What I quote, wrong reasons.
Well, I think that goes for any profession, whether it's media or not media. Mm-hmm. I grew up in a family, my father was very, very poor, and so he needed to earn money for the family. My mother came from a wealthier family, and she actually got her college degree at a time when women never got educated that way.
Yeah.
And she made it into one of the very, very exclusive public schools that did not allow everybody in, but you had to have qualified for that. So she was extremely bright, and she was able to get in to schools that were not open to women usually. So I guess I came from a trailblazer background.
Yeah.
So when I started out, I did everything I was told I couldn't do. Is this nature or nurture? I don't know. And people have been debating nature versus nurture for centuries. So who knows whether that is, whether it was just natural or whether it wasn't. But when I decided to go on for my doctorate, I was not alone in my entire family. Every one of the grandchildren are doctors, physicians, or PhD.
Expected to some extent.
It was absolutely, or lawyers, or everybody. And a couple of them have 2 master's degrees. My sister has 2 master's degrees. I mean, every one of us was highly educated. So, like in your family, you learned early on to be curious, because this was a fun, familial kind of way of bonding.
Well, everything was learning as a kid. I mean, everything was a game. And I think when you make things fun, I mean, my dad was the type who multitasked everything. Who does that sound like? So I have 18 things going always at one time, and just like he did. But I think that just the game playing in general, I teach a couple courses about this, that everything's so much more fun when you can make it into a game to learn something. And that's why I think that any of this, I think you're going to see more gamification in businesses and things, because everybody wants to win the tokens. Everybody's into game playing now. I'm just curious where that's going to all lead.
Well, I wonder if it's game playing. I wonder if it's game playing or manipulation. Because people, some people play these games, mind games, on purpose.
Yeah.
And I think it's major manipulation. But I've studied Machiavelli, Sun Tzu. I love reading all about the Tao. I love that stuff.
Yeah, I know. I'm nerd alert too.
That's my background for my doctorate. So, go figure.
Well, but then, a lot of people say, do you need to have a doctorate to do certain things in these radio shows? I don't think they're looking for necessarily somebody who does scholarly research and all that stuff that you and I have done.
No, we've done that.
Had real world experience though, and we've done both. And I think that people have more experience doing some things that they don't even know that they have. Who calls you up and asks you, what, can you help me with this? I mean, think about how I'm such a nerd when it comes to computers and things. You'll go, oh, can you show me that? I mean, I
You
love
are. I don't know anything about that.
I love all that, right? And so sometimes you're an expert in an area that you don't even know you are, and that might be the show you have, that you
Well,
create.
that's an interesting
Like we're
topic.
doing this because we love this.
Yeah, we love this, and it's so interesting that you have qualities that I don't have, and I have qualities that you don't have,
Yeah,
and we are interchanging our skill sets so well and melding them so well that I'm loving this partnership and learning so
we
much
have
from
fun.
you.
I know. It's just a fun thing. And I think a lot of people might want to get a partner for a show. I've been on a lot of people's shows uh, who do it as a counterpart type of thing, like what we're doing. If you don't really feel the confidence to be the main person or person for the show, or maybe you need somebody who's more the techie who handles the stuff you don't like there,
Sure.
that would be so funny. You know how many people come to me and go, "Oh, let me do your show for you. I'll handle all your editing." And I'm like, "No, but I like that part." And
I know.
what's the matter with you, woman?
I know. You love that. I know.
I like that part. So they have a hard sell with that. But I think you got to find what you like. It's weird to like both parts of it, and that's
Remember the Marcia Senator book, Do What You Love and the Money Will Follow?
right. Mhm.
That was my Bible.
Yeah,
I just said, I'm going to do what I love. I didn't even consider the money. And
yeah,
then it just, came to pass that I was able to earn a living. But
yeah.
I just did what I loved, and I worked with people because I loved seeing them effloresce, just like a flower opening up. I just loved seeing that.